Let me mess with you for a second. Right now, you believe time is moving, seconds passing, minutes ticking, life going forward. That feels obvious. That feels normal. But what if time isn't actually moving at all? What if nothing is flowing and you're just moving through something that already exists? Because according to modern physics, your future might already be there. Your past might still exist. And the present moment you feel so clearly might just be your brain's way of coping with something far stranger. We think of time like a river. It flows. It carries us forward. We can't go back. Simple. Except physics doesn't describe time that way. Einstein's relativity changed everything. Time isn't separate from space. It's fused with it. Spacetime, which means time is a dimension, just like height, width, and depth. You don't flow through height. Height simply exists. You don't flow through width. Width simply exists. So if time is a dimension, then it might not be flowing either. It just exists. All of it. The past, the future, every moment laid out like coordinates, which technically means somewhere in space-time there's a version of you who already finished this video, and somewhere else there's a version of you who hasn't even clicked play yet. Physics doesn't see a contradiction there. We do. Here's where it stops being theory and becomes measurable reality. Time literally moves differently depending on speed and gravity. If you move close to the speed of light, time slows down for you. If you stand near something extremely massive, like a black hole, time slows down for you. Astronauts in orbit age slightly slower than people on Earth. Not dramatically, not movie style, but measurably. GPS satellites have to correct their clocks because time moves differently up there compared to down here. If they didn't, your maps would slowly drift. You think you ray at your house while technically standing in your neighbor's yard. That means time isn't universal. It's relative. To people standing next to each other are not experiencing identical time. It's tiny, but it's real. That should feel way bigger than it does. There's an idea called the block universe theory. It suggests that past, present, and future all exist simultaneously. Like frames in a film strip, the entire movie is already complete. You're just experiencing one frame at a time. Imagine your entire life laid out like a map. Birth, every decision, every mistake, every success, every awkward moment, every win, already there. The now you feel might just be your awareness moving along that map, not time flowing, you moving. And if that's true, the future isn't something coming toward you. It's somewhere you haven't reached yet. That changes how you think about everything. Because if the future already exists, what does that mean for choice? Now, before we spiral into existential crisis mode, let's zoom out. Why does time feel like it flows if it might not? Because your brain organizes experience in sequence. Memory gives you the past. Sensory input gives you the present. Expectation gives you the future. That creates the illusion of motion. Your brain builds a narrative. Beginning. Middle. End. But the universe doesn't promise narrative structure. It just provides space-time. And here's something even stranger. The laws of physics mostly don't care about direction in time. Many equations work the same whether time moves forward or backward. The only reason you experience time moving forward is because of something called entropy. Entropy is the measure of disorder. Things move from order to disorder. A glass shatters. It doesn't unshatter. You remember yesterday. You don't remember tomorrow. That's the arrow of time. Not because time itself demands it, but because entropy increases. Which means your sense of time's direction might be tied to how messy the universe is becoming. That's wild. Think about it. You don't feel time moving. You feel change. You feel memory stacking. You feel structure becoming less structured. That's what creates the sensation of forward motion. And here's another layer. The present moment you think you experience instantly is actually slightly delayed. Light takes time to reach your eyes. Signals take time to reach your brain. By the time you are aware of now, it already happened a fraction of a second ago. You are always living slightly in the past. So the present isn't a razor-thin slice of reality. It's a process reconstruction. Your brain stitches together signals and presents them as seamless flow. That means your experience of time isn't raw. It's edited. If this is bending your brain a little, that's the point. And if you enjoy looking at reality from angles that make it feel unstable in a good way, subscribe. Because this channel isn't about surface level facts, it's about the structure underneath them. Now let's push it further. If time is a dimension and all moments exist, then every version of you exists in spacetime as well. The child version, the current version, the future version. They're not erased. They're coordinates. From the universe's perspective, your entire life might be a static shape in four-dimensional spacetime. Not something happening, something that is. Which makes you less like a traveler in a river and more like a path carved into a landscape. And here's the question that always follows. If the future already exists in spacetime, do you really have free will? Or are you discovering something that is already written into the structure? Some physicists argue that free will and the black universe can coexist. You still make choices. But those choices are part of the structure, not separate from it. That's hard to hold in your head, because it means your decisions feel spontaneous from the inside, but might be fixed from the outside. And we haven't even touched quantum mechanics yet, where particles don't seem to choose a state until measured, where probabilities replace certainty, where reality itself seems to hesitate. So on one level, the universe might be a fixed block. On another level, it might be probabilistic and flexible, which means the true nature of time could be somewhere between rigid and fluid. Time feels simple because clocks are simple, but clocks measure change, not time itself. They count vibrations, movements, dot cycles. They don't capture the structure of spacetime. We build tools that tick and then assume time ticks too. But maybe time doesn't tick. Maybe it just exists. Silent.unmoving. A vast four-dimensional landscape, and you are moving through it, one conscious moment at a time. Time feels obvious. Days pass. Seasons change. You age. But aging might just be your body following a path that already exists in spacetime. The deeper you look, the stranger it becomes. Time might not flow. It might not pass. It might not even care about your perception of it. It might simply be a dimension, and you are the one traveling. This is BrainShock, and reality is always stranger than it feels.